Legends about the end of the world often come with the sounds of thundering hooves and the approach of four horsemen: war, famine, pestilence, death. They will descend on the world and usher in the end of days. It's a terrifying idea, these horsemen bringing darkness and decay wherever they go, as the world collapses all around them. We all hope that we'll never see the day that the four horsemen come. Unfortunately, some lucky people out there have already encountered their own version of the horsemen of the apocalypse. Shadowy riders with inhuman strength that follow disaster, destruction, and untold suffering. The SCP Foundation came across a series of journal entries written by Dave Harkin, an infantryman in the British Expeditionary Force during World War I. That First World War was a nightmare for all who fought in it. A sea of bloodshed and gunfire. Young men crouched terrified in foxholes and wondering when death would finally come for them. The horrors of war are notable, but not exactly the sort of thing the SCP Foundation preoccupies itself with. So what was so captivating, so specifically terrible, about Dave Harkin's journals? They described his experiences over the course of the Battle of the Somme, and an anomaly he encountered there that was unlike anything he had ever seen. No military training, no combat experience could have prepared him for what was waiting, hiding in the fog of war. His first journal entry began on a lighthearted note, or as lighthearted as one can be in the face of combat. June 27th, 1916. Finally arrived at the front. I picked up this little journal while I was in Paris. Figured I might as well keep record of my heroics on the battlefield. Quite chuffed to finally be in action, though it seems I'm the only one. Most of these blokes have been fighting for a couple months now, and they look downright dreadful. Mud all over the uniform and their faces are so pale, look like they haven't eaten or slept for months. A few days later, he began to hear stirrings amongst his fellow soldiers, and strange sounds that rocked their barracks. He described the first unsettling incident. July 2nd, 1916. Woke in the early hours of the morning. Ground was shaking. Damn near shook me out into the muck on the dugout floor. Poor blokes in the bunks on the other side looked like they had seen a ghoul. Pair of Northern Irish lads from Kitchener's armies, if I remember right, kept muttering about a nuckety, both gripping a gold crucifix. Was about to lay my head back down and get a wink of shut-eye when I ended up scrambling into the mud. Loudest damn thing I'd ever heard. Thought it was the Hun artillery about to mark us with a whiz-bang. Only problem was, never did get the bang. This morning asked our brass hat about the artillery barrage. Gave me a funny look, and asked what the bloody hell I was talking about. The next day, Dave went searching for the source of the loud sound. He didn't find any evidence of artillery, but instead found something he had never seen before. It was a crater, shaped like a giant horse's hoof. He brushed it off as just another oddity of the battlefield. A bit strange, but nothing to be concerned about. There were more important things at hand anyway. The next day, he finally saw combat firsthand, and things only got more bizarre and frightening. July 3rd, 1916. Huns made a push today. First time they've moved into our region. First time I'd ever seen combat. It's not romantic and adventurous. It's terrifying and deadly. My hands can't stop shaking. Already messed up the shit once. The Huns had our outfit up against a wall. Damn near overran us. Didn't help that it rained that night before making our foxhole filled to the brim with muck. One of the Frits came right at me and I put one right between his eyes. Fell right at the edge of the trench. I had to look at him in the eyes. Poor lad couldn't have been more than 17 or 18. Martin, one of the Irish lads, is gone. Was unlike anything I'd ever seen. One moment he's standing shooting at Huns, all of a sudden the mud starts boiling. Before anyone can react, mud just flies everywhere. Everyone else is suddenly knocked down off their feet. I look up, and he's just gone. Wasn't even body parts left. Haven't told anyone, but I'd swear that there were bones coming from underneath him right before the mud went flying. His mate, Brendan, was digging in the mud for hours looking for the crucifix. Martin's body was never found, no matter how they searched. A little over a week later, things got even worse. July 14th and 15th, 1916. Huns tried to push this morning in the rain. I was in the machine gun nest with Brendan, the other Irish chap in my unit. They kept coming and getting stuck in the mud, and I just kept shooting. Sun is rising. I'm on watch till at least 8. At least that's what the brass hat said. I've started losing track of how much time's been passing. There's something out there. Something lurking out in the mud and dead Huns. Nearly dozed off last night listening to the moans of the blighty wounded stuck out in no man's land. Poor souls got left behind. Saw something out of the edge of my vision. Something big. Couldn't quite make it out. It was much darker than usual. Overcast sky was obscuring the full moon. Heard a couple of screams, but whatever it was gone before my flare hit the sky. This would not be Dave's last sighting of the large, dark figure. This mysterious shadow would appear again several days later, and there would be more of them. July 30th, 1916. I've been seeing them at the edge of my vision ever since that first night. They're huge, but they move so damn fast that they're gone before I can get a clear look, or at least that's how it was mucking out until today. Thick fog and mist rolled in this morning, blanketed everything. We figured the Huns might use it to launch another push. Bastards have been pushing non-stop since the 20th. Saw it through the fog. Looked like a shadow hiding in the mist. Some sort of horse-like creature with something dragging along the ground, and a giant lump where the rider would sit. Said the lump started moving. Could have sworn it was a person or something that looked like a person. Sat up, and the things dragging along the ground reached out in front of it and picked up something. Thought it was a couple dead Jerrys, until they started squirming. I'll never forget the noise it made. Louder than a banshee, shrill and twisted. It looked right at me. 2 pairs of red glowing orbs. 2 weeks after meeting eyes with this chilling apparition, Dave wrote a short note in his journal. August 5th. Brendan calls them knucklaves. Won't tell me much more than that. Beginning to understand why all these blokes looked so terrified when I first arrived. It wasn't until another week passed that Dave would truly begin to understand just what kind of monster he was up against. Not the enemy soldiers, but something far more horrible. Something inhuman. August 13th. Bloody hell, the nightmares. Been on watch 2 nights in a row. One just appeared right there, right in front of me. 20 feet, had to be at least 20 feet away. Towering into the sky. Got my flare to go off in time just to see it pick up a couple wounded Jerrys in the mud. They don't have bloody skin. They're just muscle and fat. The thing on its back wasn't human. No way it could be human. Had no skin either. No legs, just merged straight into the horse at the stomach. I took a couple shots at it with my rifle. Did absolutely nothing. Like I was shooting it with a slingshot. It stopped as my flare reached its highest point and turned. Looked straight down at me. Both the horse and the thing on its back. It smiled. He tried to warn his superiors. Tried to warn of the horrors he was seeing and the danger he felt they posed. But they wouldn't listen. Night after night, the creatures came back. August 17th, 1916. Been assigned night watch the past 4 nights straight. Tried to tell the brass hat about the knucklaves. Didn't believe me. Said it was the shell shock playing with my head. Had to put a sock in it and keep on. It keeps coming back. Every night. Same spot 20 feet in front of me. Picks up wounded Jerrys, turns and looks, and then it's gone. He plays with me. I'm sure of it. Last night there was another one too. 4 of those things on its back did the same damn thing. A few days later, Dave spotted something that made his blood run cold. 7 a.m., August 20th, 1916. Jerry's made a big push yesterday. Rained 2 days ago, all day, so the muck was deep. We were on the machine gun again in the pillbox. So many of them in no man's land last night. Couldn't tell the dead from the living. Haven't slept in 6 days. There were 5 tonight. 3 of them had more than one of those things on their back. The one that keeps coming back dropped something. Saw it shine in the flare light. 10 a.m., August 20th, 1916. Went out into the mud where it appears every night. Found Martin's crucifix and tin hat. Whatever this thing was, it had taken Martin. It seemed to want Dave to know that too. It left behind Martin's lost things for him to find, as if it was gloating, as if it already knew that it had won. August 20th, 1916. They're getting bold. Saw one out in broad daylight. Pretty sure it was the same one. Buried itself in the mud, just lying there, waiting. We're going over the top at 3. There are more out there now, all doing the same thing. God help us. Dave Harkin was declared missing in action on August 20th, 1916, following an attempted counterattack against the German forces. Another soldier from his unit, Brendan O'Malley, was also reported missing in action on the same day. Though Dave's body was never recovered, his journal was found 20 feet away from the edge of the German trenches 2 months later. Poor Dave Harkin had no idea what he and the rest of his fellow soldiers encountered out there. He didn't live to learn more, but he came face to face with SCP-3456. SCP-3456 is not one being, but rather a group of quadrupeds that vaguely resemble horses. From a distance, their silhouette looks like that of a horse with a human riding on its back. However, once the observer gets closer, they will notice some disturbing differences. These creatures do not look like any ordinary horse. They are smooth and hairless, with translucent skin and three-toed hooves. Anyone unfortunate enough to get close to one of these creatures will be able to see through their skin to the blood vessels and muscle underneath. They will also notice that there is no rider perched atop the creature's back at all. The humanoid shape is part of the creature's body, an extension of them, fused to its back. The humanoid figure consists of a pair of long arms, which drags along the ground as the creature moves, and a head. The arms end in sharpened bones rather than fingers, and the head has mostly human features, with the exception of a hole where the nose should be. The creatures vary greatly in size, with the largest on record measuring at a height of 30 meters and a width of 15. They appear to be invulnerable, at least when it comes to any traditional human weaponry they have currently been exposed to. Gunfire, explosives, swords and arrows, and even nuclear blasts seem to have no effect. If you happen to get a good look at one of these bulletproof abominations in person, then I am so sorry. You are as good as gone. Because once you have seen one of these creatures, they have also seen you, and they will not stop until they have taken you. They will track you, stalk you, hide buried in mud and nestled in bushes. They will wait for the opportune moment, and they will reach out with their unnaturally long arms, smiling with no lips as their blood-red eyes burn like hellfire, and you will disappear forever. They will travel far beyond the site where they first appeared, until they have finally captured their prey. This isn't an SCP-096 situation either. They aren't punishing you for seeing their face. They want to be seen, and will go out of their way to show themselves to people until they have captured as many as they want. No one knows what becomes of SCP-3456's victims, but they are never seen again. Though items once belonging to the missing people may resurface, their bodies are never found. There is only one way to escape from SCP-3456, and that is to find and cross a body of fresh water. For reasons unknown, the entities are unable or unwilling to cross rivers, streams, and lakes. The Foundation first discovered this during an operation in Iraq, in which several agents encountered a group of SCP-3456 manifestations. They fled from the monsters and quickly retreated across the Tigris River. Once they had reached the other side, they saw that the creatures had not followed them onto the bridge. Instead, they remained at the riverbank on the other side, watching and waiting. This was quickly noted and added to potential containment procedures, though the exact reason for SCP-3456's dislike of fresh water is currently unknown. In Dave Harkin's journals, his fellow soldier described the creatures as nucleaves, but would not elaborate beyond that. So what is a nucleave? The word refers to a creature from the waters of Orkney, a group of islands on the northern coast of Scotland. Their name is thought to come from an Orcadian word meaning devil of the sea, and they truly are like something out of hell. These creatures are native to the ocean and supposedly take on another form when in their natural habitat, but no one knows what they truly look like. On land, the creature is a hybrid of a man and horse, with a large snout like that of a pig, and a single red eye that burns like the embers of a fire. It has no hair or skin, just raw tissue and bone-dripping black blood. Everything about the creature is malicious and deadly, intended to bring harm and calamity to humans. Even its breath is toxic, thought to cause disease, plague, and the death of crops. As they are native to the ocean, they detest fresh water and will not cross it even in pursuit of their prey. They will also not appear when it is raining. In the legends of the nucleave, they do have a natural enemy. A creature from Orcadian folklore known as the Myther of the Sea is said to have the power to keep the monsters from coming ashore during the summer months. The Myther, or Mother, is a benevolent force of nature, giving warmth to the oceans and life to the beings on the water and the land. Though SCP-3456 has appeared during the summer months, it has never been spotted in the Orkney region during this time of year. Perhaps this is a coincidence, but some Foundation researchers have proposed a research expedition to the area in order to look for the kindly ocean spirit. So far, this proposal has been denied. SCP-3456 is classified as Keter, and there is currently no way to effectively contain it. All previous attempts to contain or to neutralize the Horsemen have failed, though the Foundation is always looking for new methods to attempt. Currently, any personnel who see the Horsemen will be given Class G amnestics at a treatment center located within 1 kilometer of a freshwater stream, river, or lake. All references to the Horsemen have been scrubbed from historical records, and any sightings are to be blamed on PTSD, shock, and trauma-induced hysteria. Areas that are likely to attract SCP-3456, such as war zones and areas impacted by natural disasters, are to be heavily monitored by the Foundation. In the event of a disaster, Foundation personnel will be sent to help with evacuation in order to get all civilians away from SCP-3456 as quickly as possible. So what is SCP-3456? Is it the dreaded Nuclave from folktales and whispered fireside warnings? There are some notable differences between the stories and what the Foundation encountered. SCP-3456 does not seem to have come from the ocean, nor is it limited to only appearing around Orkney. These beasts seem to manifest from thin air and disappear the same way when their nasty work is done. But folklore and passing down stories often distorts things. Details change, and others are added or left out. In the original stories, the Nuclave were thought to be the cause of famines, plagues, and disasters. Perhaps it was simply drawn to these events, lured there by the scent of pure human misery. Perhaps the Nuclave is not just similar to SCP-3456, but the two are one and the same. Or perhaps they are something entirely different. Whatever the case may be, there is nothing we can do to stop them. War, famine, pestilence, and death are everywhere. They are inevitable and unfortunate parts of life on Earth. So it seems are these deadly riders, these monsters that are neither horse nor man, but still somehow both. Every time we wage war, every time disaster strikes, they will come to watch, to pick through the rubble, and to smile. Maybe we don't need to dread the coming of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. They are already here. Now go check out Waldo Finds You, SCP-4885 Find Him, and The Secret at the Bottom of SCP-087 Explained for more monstrous finds from the SCP Foundation.